Hey guys, okay, so I have another Valentine's Day post for all my Christian girlies who is seeking a godly husband, right? And first, listen, waiting does not mean you're desperate, right? Waiting does not mean you're picky, and waiting does not mean you're unrealistic. It means you know what you're praying for. A godly man, it's not just, well, let me not say a godly man, a godly spouse. But for all you girlies, a godly man is just someone who is not just someone who say he believes in God. It's not someone who posts about the Bible. It's not someone who knows the Bible. It's not someone who goes to church every day. It's not someone who preach, whatever. A godly man is a man of character, right? So is a man whose character matches his confession. So whatever he's saying, his character matches it. He leads with integrity. He's consistent when no one is watching, and that's like a big thing to look for, because anybody can be consistent like at church and in the public, but when no one is looking, is he consistent? um yeah. He takes responsibility. He protects your heart, not pressures it. He honors your boundary. He values purity, not just physically, but emotionally. He prays. He seeks wisdom. He seeks wise counsel. And he turns to God whenever you're going through problems and situation instead of turning to other females. Um, he corrects himself. He doesn't weaponize scripture. He doesn't manipulate with God told me. He's submitted to God before he ever tries to lead you. And here's the hard part, ladies. Waiting for a godly man often means walking away from charismatic men, right? From potential, from chemistry, from men who like you but don't lead spiritually, from men who want access to you but not accountability to God. And sometimes that waiting, it feels lonely. You'll wonder if you're asking for too much. You'll wonder if maybe you should be more flexible. You'll watch other people get engaged. You question the timeline, but settling for a man who isn't aligned with your faith, it will cost you more than loneliness ever will. It will. A godly man will not compete with your relationship with God. He will protect it. He will cover you in prayer. He will encourage your growth. He will not be intimidated by your calling. He will not silence your convictions. He will not rush what God is building. And let's be clear, you don't attract a godly man by begging God for one while ignoring your own growth. Use the waiting period, strengthen your discernment. Listen, you need discernment, especially in these times. You need discernment, okay? Heal your wounds, deepen your prayer life. Listen, let me tell you, before you seek that godly husband, make sure you listen, make sure you have a good prayer life. Make sure you have a good relationship going with God. Don't listen to, yes, I understand, yeah, I'm gonna say like your pastor, your bishop, or whatever. Yeah, you can go to them, but I'm telling you, make sure you have your own relationship with God. Make sure you ask God for yourself. Make sure you're not being led by emotion or flesh, because it will cost you later on in life, right? Redefine your standards, learn your patterns, break your cycle. So work on yourself as well while you're in this waiting period, because when he comes, you won't need to convince yourself. You won't need to decode mixed signals. You won't need to force spiritual leadership. You'll feel peace, not chaos, confusion, not confusion, but clarity, alignment, right? So If today feels heavy because you're single and believing for marriage, don't lose heart. Delay is not denial. Silence is not abandonment. Waiting is not wasting. God is not preparing him without preparing you. So while God is working on him, God is also working on you. So make sure you do the work, and trust me, alignment is a big thing when it comes. And I know a lot of people think that when you say you are not equally yoked with a person, it means like they don't go to church. Yes, true, but there's a lot of ways in which um you can be equally yoked. You can go to church with a person can be really saved. I want to just, so it's not just about unequally yoke is not just about if the person go to church or if the person is committed. There's a lot of way you can be unequally yoke with a believer as well. So make sure you go into all of that. And listen, yes, love is a big part of it, but listen, if that alignment is not there, it's not going to work. You have to figure out how you're going to raise these. It's just a lot. And this is why it's like really important to like make sure say you have God in at the center of this. Make sure ladies say you keep your prayer line. Listen, the enemy is going to send distraction, and he might send people look like the one, and you might fall for it, because sometimes I don't want to use the word desperation, but a lot of times us as women, we especially like society wants us to believe that if you get to a certain age and you're not married, then something is wrong, and if you don't have kids. And so like when we realize that we're getting older in life, we become a little bit desperate, and sometimes we end up choosing the wrong person because what society believe. But trust in God. Listen, a lot of people are having children later in life. A lot of people are getting married later in life. Also, a lot of people are choosing not to have kids or choosing not to get married. So like, don't let society pressure you into something. Wait on God, because listen, when the right man come, not that everything is going to be great, but listen, you guys going to be able to weather the storm together. Because listen, if you are not aligned with that man, there are going to be problems that I don't know how y'all gonna be solving that. And make sure say when you're choosing your man, make sure say him have a prayer life. Make sure he has a relationship with God, because listen, in times like these, if y'all don't have no relationship with God, that relationship is not gonna work. I'm telling you right now, that relationship will not work. If God is not at the center of your relationship, it will not work. And sometimes you end up staying in relationships for years and years, and you're not happy, you're not equally yoked, you're not aligned. But we believe society and stigma, and we don't want this person to say that, and we stick around for all the wrong reasons. We end up wasting so many of our years being unhappy because we never ask God for help to choose our spouse, and because we look a bit desperate and we see we get older in life and we're like, oh my gosh, come, my mother's married. And listen, the enemy is going to send the counterfeit. The counterfeit is going to come before the real one. I'm telling you. Listen, discernment, we need discernment. Listen, ladies, this is a season where if no other season we don't need discernment, we need discernment in this season, because the counterfeit is going to come before the real one. And a lot of times we end up falling for the counterfeit because we get impatient and we can't wait on God. So listen, don't settle for attention. You're called to a covenant. Don't trade tiny destination for distraction. Don't lower your standards because of loneliness. The right man will not just love you, he will lead you with God. And that kind of love is worth the wait. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all.